Wow, Korean investors are really diving headfirst into U.S. stocks, huh? Like, we're talking a serious wave of investment here.
Oh, yeah.
One firm, Merit Securities, saw something like $700 million flow in from overseas in just a single month.
You got it.
That's massive. And we've got this really interesting interview with experts from both Merit's and the New York Stock Exchange talking all about this trend.
Yeah.
So in this deep dive, let's really get into it. What's making this happen? Why is the U.S. market so appealing, especially to Korean investors? And what's the takeaway for all of us watching as investors?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's not just about, like chasing the hot stocks or anything.
Right.
The U.S. market really has some solid advantages, especially for those Korean investors.
So let's unpack those advantages then.
Sure.
What makes the U.S. market stand out?
Well, first off, the U.S. is kind of like the world's innovation hub right now.
Right.
Think of those companies, leading the way in AI, biotech, green energy. A lot of them, they're based right here in the U.S.
Okay.
And that pulls in investment from all over the globe,
Right.
which leads to a pretty strong market performance overall.
Makes sense.
But for Korean investors specifically, there's another side to it.
I'm all ears, especially since Korea has its own share of innovative companies, too.
Exactly. But see, the U.S. offers this whole range of investment products that you might not find so easily in Korea. You've got things like leveraged and inverse products, even stuff tied to cryptocurrency.
Wow, that's a lot more options.
It really is. And that means they can put together some pretty diverse investment strategies, cater to different needs.
I see. More tools in the toolbox.
Yeah, exactly.
But hold on. Trading across continents, dealing with those time zones, that has to be a concern for Korean investors, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Different regulations, potential downsides, that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. Those are valid concerns.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The U.S. market's strength is in its regulations.
Okay.
U.S. exchanges, they're heavily regulated. The focus is on fairness, on protecting investors, no matter where they're located.
So it's a level playing field.
Exactly. So that time difference or the distance, it doesn't really create a disadvantage.
That's good to know. Very reassuring, for sure. Okay, so let's talk about Merit Securities, because they're obviously doing something right to attract so many Korean investors.
They are.
What's their secret sauce?
Well, they've been really innovative. Got to give them that.
Yeah.
Take their Super 365 account as an example.
Okay, what's that about?
So it offers these high interest rates on both Korean won and U.S. dollar deposits.
Interesting.
And on top of that, they've got crazy low commission rates for stock trading.
Okay, so it's like a double whammy, high interest and low fees.
Right. They're going after investors who want those higher returns on their deposits.
Right.
But at the same time, they're making it super easy to get into active trading in both Korean and U.S. markets.
Smart. Very smart.
And then they launched this zero promotion campaign.
Zero promotion. What's that?
Free stock trading in both Korean and U.S. markets.
Whoa, hold on. Free?
Yep. And they even waive those U.S. dollar exchange fees.
That's a huge deal.
It's totally shaken up the brokerage industry over there.
I bet. But can they keep that up? Is it really sustainable in the long run? Could these aggressive promotions backfire somehow?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it?
Right.
We'll have to wait and see about the long-term sustainability for sure.
Yeah.
But no doubt, it's put Merit's way out in front, leading the pack in that retail market.
It seems like it.
They're bringing in a whole new generation of investors, the ones who are comfortable with, doing everything on digital platforms.
Right, the digital natives.
Exactly.
Speaking of strategic moves, we got to talk about Merit's teaming up with the New York Stock Exchange.
Oh, yeah.
That's a major play. What does it mean for those Korean investors?
Well, this partnership opens up some really specific benefits. For example, Merit's is now using the NYSE's Pillar Depth service.
Pillar Depth.
Yep, a first for Korean investors.
I got to ask, what is Pillar Depth, and how does the average Korean investor benefit from it?
So imagine having this crystal clear view of how liquid the market is.
Okay.
That's what Pillar Depth gives you. It pulls together all this level 2 market data from all 5 NYSE equities markets.
Wow.
So you're getting a really detailed picture of the liquidity landscape for U.S. traded stocks and ETFs.
I used to struggle to understand market liquidity, but seeing it visualized with all those buy and sell orders at different prices, it really makes a difference.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Especially when you're trying to enter or exit a large position.
Yeah, absolutely. And it goes even deeper than that.
Oh.
Pillar Depth also includes data for those opening and closing auctions,
Right.
which are crucial for investors in different time zones.
Oh, I see.
So they get this transparency, this ability to participate in those critical liquidity events, even with the distance.
So Pillar Depth basically helps Korean investors see the whole market clearly. But what about timing? I heard the NYSE is thinking about extending trading hours on the NYSE Arca exchange.
Uh-huh.
What's the latest on that?
Right, so they're planning to have trading go from 3:30 p.m. Korean Standard Time to 1:30 p.m. the following day.
Wow, so that means Korean investors will practically have access to the U.S. market almost all day long.
Yeah, pretty much.
What a huge shift.
It's a total game changer.
Yeah.
It gives them so much more flexibility to react to market moves,
Right.
Jump on opportunities that pop up during their day.
So the NYSE is really recognizing how important those international investors are.
Oh, absolutely.
All these developments, it really seems like things are moving towards catering to global investors.
Yeah.
What else is on the horizon, especially for Merits? Any other big initiatives coming up?
Well, Merits is working on this brand new digital platform specifically designed for retail investors.
Okay.
And it's going to be loaded with all kinds of innovative features.
Interesting. Like what?
One of the big ones is a new system for trading U.S. Treasuries.
U.S. Treasuries, huh?
Yeah, they want to make trading them just as easy as trading stocks.
That's ambitious.
It is.
Why the focus on simplify U.S. Treasury trading, though?
Well, it's all about accessibility.
Yeah.
Traditionally, investing in U.S. Treasuries, it's been a lot more complicated than stocks.
Right.
This system, it aims to open that up, make it easier for more people to get involved.
Makes sense.
Especially those who are already used to online stock trading platforms.
Yeah, so it fits right in with their strategy of breaking down barriers and attracting new investors.
Yeah, exactly.
And it seems like this all feeds into their bigger vision, too, right?
It does.
That whole next-generation investment community idea.
Right. Think about it. Cutting-edge trading systems, personalized experiences, all in one user-friendly platform.
So they're building a whole ecosystem for investors.
Pretty much.
It's a far cry from that, like, intimidating, complex world of traditional finance.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
This whole shift toward digital investing, it's really reshaping the industry.
It is.
Giving investors more control, more transparency, more convenience.
Yeah, we're seeing a real paradigm shift here, with technology leading the way.
It's the rise of the digital investor, isn't it?
It is.
How do you see this playing out in the future?
Oh, this trend, it's only going to pick up speed.
Okay.
We've got this whole new generation coming up, digital natives. They're comfortable with tech. They expect a seamless digital experience.
Right.
And the traditional institutions, they have to adapt to that or they'll get left behind.
So it's not just about offering online trading anymore.
No.
It's about that whole holistic digital experience, catering to these tech-savvy investors.
Exactly. Empowering them with intuitive platforms,
Right.
giving them personalized insights, educational resources.
Yeah.
All at their fingertips.
It's the future of investing.
It is.
Exciting times to be an investor, with all these possibilities opening up,
For sure.
but also challenging for those who are slow to adapt.
That's the nature of disruption,
Right.
The financial industry is being transformed by technology and by those changing demands from investors.
This whole deep dive, it's really highlighted how important it is to stay informed, be adaptable.
Yeah.
The investment landscape, it's constantly changing.
It is. You can't just rely on those old methods and strategies anymore.
Right.
Investors got to be proactive, embrace those new technologies, keep learning to stay ahead of the curve.
Okay, so with all that in mind, let's take a step back for a second.
Okay.
And look at the bigger picture.
Right.
We've seen Korean investors really jumping into the U.S. market. But what does this tell us about the future of global investing overall?
Well, I think this rise of Korean investment in the U.S., it's like a miniature version of a much bigger trend.
Okay.
The globalization of finance capital is flowing across borders more freely than ever.
Makes sense.
And that brings both opportunities and challenges.
Let's start with the opportunities. What are some of the potential benefits of all this interconnectedness?
Well, for investors, it means a wider range of investment options.
Okay.
You're not limited to just your own country anymore.
Right.
So there's more potential for diversification.
Yeah.
You can get into emerging markets, take advantage of global trends.
It's like having the whole world as your investment playground.
It kind of is.
That's pretty empowering.
It is, but it's super important to recognize those challenges that come with it, too.
Okay, let's talk about those challenges then.
Sure.
What are the downsides to this globalized financial world?
One big concern is volatility.
Okay.
When markets are so closely linked,
Yeah.
shocks in one part of the world can spread super fast,
Right.
cascade through the whole system.
Yeah.
So managing risk, it gets a lot more complex.
So a downturn in one market could trigger a chain reaction, impacting portfolios all over the globe.
Exactly.
That's a little scary, honestly.
It is.
And what about the geopolitical side of things?
Ooh, that's a big one, too.
Yeah.
As financial flows become more globalized,
Right.
they can start influencing the power dynamics between countries,
Okay.
sometimes creating tension, maybe even fueling conflicts.
So it's not just numbers of markets.
Nope,
It's tied in with global politics.
it is.
And it can have huge consequences.
Absolutely. Understanding the geopolitical landscape is more important than ever for investors.
So globalization brings amazing opportunities.
Yeah.
But it's not without its risks.
Definitely not.
It seems like investors need to be way more sophisticated and informed than ever before.
Oh, for sure.
So what advice would you give to investors trying to navigate this rapidly changing landscape? What are the key takeaways from our deep dive so far?
It really does feel like we're at this, turning point. Globalization opens up all this access, all these opportunities.
Right.
But it also demands more from investors. We need to understand things better, be more aware.
Absolutely. We can't just sit back and ride this wave.
Yeah.
Got to be active, got to keep learning, got to adapt to stay ahead.
Exactly.
So what does that look like practically speaking? What can investors actually do to thrive in this new world?
Well, first and foremost, diversify.
Okay, makes sense.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
Don't limit yourself to just your home market. Look at different regions, different types of assets.
To spread the risk,
Yeah.
tap into growth potential all over the world?
Exactly. Second, stay informed.
Okay, but how? There's so much information out there.
Right. It can be overwhelming.
Okay.
Focus on quality over quantity.
Okay.
Find reputable sources you can trust.
So like financial news, industry publications, that kind of thing?
Yeah, or expert analysis.
Right.
And don't be afraid to really dive deep into specific areas that interest you.
Yeah.
Things that fit with your investment strategy.
So be selective. Find sources you can trust.
Exactly. And last but not least, embrace technology.
Okay, yeah, we've seen how Merits is doing that.
Right. They're a great example.
Creating that user-friendly experience.
Yeah, it's all about using those tools and platforms that are out there
Right.
to streamline your investing, get real-time data, make better decisions.
Investors who embrace tech, they'll have a real advantage.
Absolutely.
So diversify globally, stay informed, and embrace technology.
You got it.
Those are the keys to success in this globalized investment world.
That's a great summary.
Yeah.
And remember, it's not a one-time thing.
Right.
It's an ongoing process.
Keep learning, keep adapting.
The financial world, it never stops moving.
That's what makes it exciting, right?
It is. There's always something new.
New opportunities.
Exactly.
So let's bring it back to where we started.
Okay.
That surge of Korean investment in the U.S.
Yeah, it really shows how connected the global economy is becoming.
and how investors are changing their strategies.
Absolutely. It's like a case study in how to take advantage of global trends.
And adapt to the market.
Exactly.
And for everyone watching, the big takeaway is
Yeah.
these insights from this Korean investor trend, they apply to your investment journey too.
They do, no matter where you are.
It's about recognizing the power of globalization,
Yeah.
embracing those opportunities,
Yeah.
but also navigating the challenges,
Right.
being informed, being adaptable.
Well said.
So that wraps up our deep dive for today.
It does.
We covered a lot,
Good.
explored some fascinating trends, hopefully gave everyone some valuable insights.
Yeah, I think so.
It's always a pleasure to have these conversations with you.
Likewise.
And to everyone watching, until next time,
Yeah.
keep exploring, keep learning
Keep diving deep.
into the world of global finance,